Welcome back to Chow Time Pod. It's your host, Red. Video today from P's World. Woman divorces her husband and her best friend takes him. Please like and share them below. I really appreciate that. Let's get that chow. It's chow time.
Alright, so the best reason to have a man pay for a babysitter if he wants to take you out on a date.
Best reason? Okay, let's hear this.
Ooh, donuts.
Is because you're reading out men like this.
Definitely an uncalled for comment.
Men who get upset about the idea of covering a babysitter to take a woman out who has a child, they want you to be easy, they don't value your time, and they have no respect for you. And, of course, they think of your child as a burden and another man's expense, or your mistake.
That's not a man's responsibility to pay for you a sitter. If you can't afford one or find one, you shouldn't be going out. At the end of the day,
I like this lady, but does she really have to eat while filming this?
that child is your responsibility. I don't care how you look at it. That's your responsibility. So you figure it out.
So you can decide if you want to see a man who's thinking that way. You need to have a man pay for the babysitter if he wants to take you out. Otherwise, you're going to end up with a guy like that.
Girl, some men is gonna think that shit about you regardless if you asking for a sitter or not.
Mm-hmm.
The real question is, if he was a single father, would you pay for his sitter? And I don't want to hear that he's sassy.
And believe it or not, when that guy gets someone pregnant, whether they're married or not, he's going to start looking at his own baby mother as used goods.
Who cares what he thinks? This is why you shouldn't expect nobody to do shit for you or your child.
Look, let me be fair. The only circumstance that I agree, or I can think of that I agree, where it'd be okay with a man paying for a babysitter of a child that isn't his, is if that man was a stepfather. You guys are living together, but you want to go out. So he pays for the babysitter. Okay, here's what it is. But if you're a woman and you're expecting a man to pay for a babysitter on the first date, second date, third date, you're expecting a man to pay for a babysitter for a child that he hasn't even met, there's something wrong with you mentally. But if it's one thing we know about men and women don't create standards they know can't be met. So for a woman like this, there was probably a guy that paid for a babysitter. Now she thinks it's the norm. And
I 100% agree with P. It's always the one person that gave these women exactly what they wanted. Some simp beta cuck mangina. And now they think that is the precedence for all men to be treating them that way. Girl, maybe one guy thought you were the bee's knees, but you're just knees.
the guys who do this are more worrying than the women who expect guys to do this. Because how desperate must you be?
Right?
I think I met my first real sassy man last night. He was handsome. He was fine. He had a nice beard, real chocolate dark skin, real dress, nice put together. He was trying to call me over. And bitch, you know me, I'm playing hard to get because all the niggas in the room is trying to get me. So with my guys were like, hey, he want to talk to you. So I go over and I start talking to him and he like, so what took you so long to come over here? And I said, I had to think about it. Mind you, it was another nigga over on the other corner that I was talking to too. But I was just trying to see what was up. I'm just, you know. And he was like, oh, so you was trying to make a decision? And I was like, yeah. He was like, all right, don't worry about it then. You can go ahead, have a good night. Okay, nigga, bye. The fuck? I got options. What's the problem? If you want me, never mind. I'm not even.
It's obvious he didn't want you. He wanted someone that wants him. And if you had to question yourself, you really don't want him.
You have options and he has self-respect. What's the problem? And this is the thing about the whole sassy men apocalypse. Anything is sassy. Why would he want to speak to a woman who doesn't know if she finds him attractive? You're in a club setting. We know what happens in a club setting. People mingle, people talk, people dance, people are catching a vibe. If a man calls you over and you have to look at him and really do I really? That probably means you're not that interested. And he knows that.
Yep.
So he's like, you know what, let's not waste our time. Have fun. And that's sassy.
I caught my best friend with my boyfriend, but I didn't confront them, and I don't know what to do now. I have known my best friend my entire life. I've always been a loner, but she's always been there. She's the only friend that I've ever had. I will preface this by saying that she is 10 years older than me, so she's more like an older sister and someone that I really look up to. But she introduced me to my boyfriend, actually, and I moved in with her 2 years ago. So we live together, and she works at the university near where we live. She introduced us because they actually used to work together. But me and him hit it off, and we've been together for about 7 months now.
Okay.
Yesterday I was feeling pretty nauseous, so I left work early, and when I got home, I saw his shoes there, which is not unusual because, like I said, they were friends before me, so they used to hang out all the time, even when I was at work, and they would sit in the hallway and watch YouTube on their phones or whatever. But when I got home this day, they were not in the
It sounds a little bit off already, girl.
hallway, so I was like, that's kind of weird. Maybe they're not here. I don't know. So I went into my best friend's room, and when I went in there, I saw them having sex. And I didn't know what to do, so I left and I went to my parents' house, and ever since then I have felt so nauseous and disgusting and just this really unsettling feeling. Like, I know they didn't see me and they don't know that I know, so she was texting me saying, like, are you gonna be late to come home? Like, what's going on? And I just never replied. But I just have this feeling that's just like, it's like eating me up inside, and I don't know what to do, and I don't know how to confront them. I don't know if I want to confront them. I am going to move all of my stuff out.
I think you're handling it pretty well, girl. Just walk away.
But yeah, this literally just happened yesterday, and I'm kind of just in shock, and I just am numb now, and I just don't know what to do.
Nothing you really can do. Okay, confronting them, if that'll make you feel better,
Nope.
you know, I'd say go ahead. But all you can do is learn from this. And what I'd say is boy best friends, girl best friends, red flag. Doesn't matter that you met them through, don't do that again, right? Don't meet another guy through one of your girl best friends. Don't do that again. Because yes, men and women can be friends. But too many times, it doesn't work out that way. So all I'd say is learn from that mistake. Don't do it again. Because you got to think, how long were they doing this? Like,
probably the whole time.
They've known each other before they knew you, right? They could have been doing this for time.
So I'm finally
It might be their whole kink thing.
officially divorced, and I'm ready to talk about some of the things that has happened. And one of the things was 3 months ago, I found out my best friend was one of my husband's sugar babies. Really hard. Not as hard as
What? That was a little surprising. I knew about the getting married part, but he was her sugar baby for while you were married? Women are just so conniving. Holy cow.
everything I found out in the beginning when I left my ex, but really hard because I trusted this girl so much, and I kicked everyone out of my life except for her.
Was she a sugar baby before your husband? Like, was she always a sugar baby? That's what you knew her as?
Yeah,
And that was
yeah.
your friend anyway? Or did your husband turn her into a sugar baby? Because I'm trying to see it. Like, if she was a sugar baby, her doing this to your husband, or her being in a sugar baby relationship with your husband behind your back, it wouldn't really surprise me. Because I don't really think you can engage in sex work and be like the most moral person when it comes to relationships and sex and stuff like that. That's just my opinion. But yeah, let us know. Also, if anybody can find a full clip, because I was trying to find a full clip, but I could not find it, send me an email because I want to see the rest. She said there was worse. I need to know.
I'm glad my best friend started dating my ex. It taught me a lesson that I needed most at that time, and I think it's one I'm meant to share with you. A lot of people have relationships in their life, whether it be friends, family, romantic relationships, where their trust is broken. For me, I put all of my love, trust, secrets, and time into this one best friend. She was my world, and for her to do that to me behind my back absolutely broke me. Initially, I was mad at myself for not having more friends, for putting all of my eggs in one basket, and I couldn't imagine trusting like that again. But eventually I learned that just because somebody might break your trust doesn't mean that all other innocent people should face the repercussions of that. It's okay to put all of your eggs, in other words your trust, in one basket. But some people live with that mentality of not wanting to put all their eggs in one basket, and eventually it trickles into their love life. It's why we see people getting led on with no promise of commitment. It's why we see people lose their minds and become hyper controlling. And it's why we see so many people running away from true connections instead of actually leaning into them. Anyway, I think I'll end my rant here for today. Moral of the story is let it go and don't be afraid of love.
The ability to go through something and not project that onto the world is something that we don't see or hear women speak about very often.
Nope.
Because we already know a lot of these women go through something and it's all men, or it's all men of a specific...
Remember, it's the accountability is their kryptonite thing. And doing what you just said right now is accountability.
Demographic. The fact that she was able to take her experience as an isolated experience shows a lot of maturity.
My date is over. Literally 10 seconds back.
Hey guys, let me tell you something. There are some things that I don't do in Dubai. Like if someone asks me, to meet and they don't have a proper plan, I wouldn't go. Absolutely not. Because why? I'm a baddie, right? I'm a baddie. But I forgot that in London. Like in UK, I forgot.
It's so... When you hear that accent, I'm a baddie, it just sounds so wrong.
That because I don't know what people are like here. Like I don't know the life. I don't know any of that stuff. So I went on this date. What I was worried about was, okay, the place that we go to, like, I hope he's not too awkward with the whole, bill situation. I don't mind covering it. Honestly, no problem at all, because I want to go out to a nice place as well, whatever. That was my concern. You know what ended up happening? We didn't even eat. We went on a walking date. Do you want to know how many steps I hit? You will find out soon. That was not a glitch, by the way. It was actually 20,000, but 5,000 was me searching for him. The rest, 15,000, was with him. So we walked for an hour and a half. And then he was, by the end of it, we came back to that starting point and he was like, so what do you want to do next? Chill, eat. That's when it hit me that, oh, this is the date. Like what we just had was the date. Then I was like, oh, no, it's fine.
Yeah, it's to get to know each other. So you guys talked for an hour and he was like, oh yeah, you're kind of cool. I'm willing to take you out on a more official type date.
Tell me where to grab something to eat because then I'll just get something and I'm going to go home. He was like, you didn't eat? You should have told me, I would have taken... Okay, just shut the up because I'm about to pass out right now. Just tell me where a restaurant is. He was like, restaurants are closed. We close, all the restaurants in UK, it closes at 10. Yeah, that's one thing I don't like. What? Shut the fuck up. So then we had to go to a grocery store. He was like, okay, I know this one grocery store that's going to be open until 11. I'll take you there and then you can get something to eat, blah, blah, blah. So we both walked another.
This guy is pretty good looking.
5 to 10 minutes. In my head, even at this time, I was like, at least he walked me to a grocery store. Twinkle. Went to the grocery store. As soon as we entered, I was like, oh, I'm good now. I'll get something to eat. No problem. You can leave. It's okay. Yeah, I've got this. I'll just get some. He was like, yeah, okay, go ahead. I need to shop for myself as well. I just need to get some stuff for home. Oh, okay, so you basically, it's not like you came to the grocery for me. You came for you and I also came for you. I said, okay.
So I can't kill two birds with one stone? What's the problem with that?
How do you go out with someone and not even ask them, have you eaten anything? Or are you okay? Do you want to stop somewhere? Do you want to grab something to eat? How is that not even a question? Considering the fact that I've told a couple of times that, oh yeah.
We're not your parents. We're not constantly asking and making sure and checking if you've been fed or if you ate already. You're an adult.
Walking is not really my thing. I've just started now. That should be our next thought. Okay, I'm with someone that doesn't walk a lot. Let's grab something to eat. Nothing. I'm actually shocked that people can be this. They don't think about another person. Because for me, even if I was with a girlfriend, I'm meeting a woman, the way I am with them is why I expect more from men. Even with girls, we will ask, do you want some? Do you want to take a bite, like, can we share a plate? So I'm very surprised that people can be like this, but also it's just a reminder to myself to stay home. But that being said, I did walk 20,000 steps. So hopefully when I come back to Dubai, I'm like fitter, So that's the positive thing.
So you guys might not know who this woman is. I only found out who she was by this video. So I started to look through her page, right? Because a lot of women who have bad dating experiences, it isn't a coincidence. Firstly, not asking what the plan was because you think it's different in the UK than Dubai. Okay. You're not from here. I'll give you that pass. It's a bit weird to not ask what you're going to do, but okay. But anyways, I started to scroll through her channel, her TikTok page, I should say, sorry. And I saw this video and I said, it's not a coincidence. She's one of those.
What is it with guys nowadays? Like, why are we both competing to be princesses? Can I be the only woman in the relationship? Is that okay with you? Can I feel like a woman? Can I? Because this whole thing of like, will you come to London like to meet me? Yes, of course. Why don't I also get a ring whilst I'm there? And like, why don't I propose to you? Why don't I get down on one knee, plan a whole proposal and like ask you out? Like ask you
Just to go visit someone. That's what you're comparing everything to? God.
to be my girlfriend. Why not? Even though you're a man, like maybe I should ask you to be my girlfriend. And also the kind of guys that slide into your DMs and like they come up with the, I don't know, man, like weirdest opening line or whatever, but sometimes it's funny, so I respond, and then they start playing hard to get. Do you want me to like ask, where is, I don't understand it. So you're messaging me and then you expect me to chase you, like what? Like I don't know. I'm just really confused.
This was months ago. This video was a couple days ago, the first one that you just watched. This was months ago. The videos are completely different, but the energy is the same. I just wanted to put it out there. It's never a coincidence with these women.
Yeah, that victim mentality that men have to do everything, women are the prize, women just have to show up and, look pretty. That was her mentality. And most women have that mentality. This is why they all seem to feel the same experiences from men, because men are just normal men. And these women expect them to be some weirdo that knows exactly what they're thinking and what they want. Please accept them below. I really appreciate that.